What's up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Clips DOT, and you should check out my podcast, Forged. It's on everything that you can find. It's even on YouTube. The 5-minute breakdowns, 5-minute pep up should be on YouTube as well. The 30-minute full length episodes aren't, because those aren't video shot right now. But I am getting ready to do some interviews, which we'll get those guys on YouTube as well, which would be super cool. So you should check those out. Anyways, kind of fun. I said, hearing this lady just gave me a weird look when I said you should check this out. She's walking by me. I digress. People are so funny. That's what I want to talk about today a little bit, is about people. One of the things that I've learned over the weekend was that when it comes to people, when the camera gets turned on, like, let's say, so we were at this PLL, Professional Premier Lacrosse League. We were at the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League. And these guys are beasts, man. It was so much fun to watch these games. If you get the chance to watch it, you should totally check it out. You may not understand all the rules at first, but it's super easy to pick up the rules, super easy to learn it. But if you like hockey, you will love lacrosse. I digress. My point is that as I was sitting here, and I've thought a lot about this, but like, people are people, right? The crowd wasn't too bad. The crowd was great. And it wasn't too big. It wasn't too little. I felt really comfortable where it was. But it's... people act differently when the camera gets put on. And one of the things that I learned was that in the camera gun, people go crazy. They would go nuts. They would have their shirts, they'd rip their shirts off. They would whatever. And some people really wanted that attention. A couple of people hit when the camera got put on, right? Like, they were having fun, but they didn't necessarily want to be in the limelight. They didn't want to be on the big screen. They didn't want the opportunity to be on ESPN or whatever the heck it was, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me at all why they did what they did, but a lot of people change the way they act when the camera gets turned on. And as leaders, we can't do that, right? Now, if you're listening to this on Forge, you should be checking out realdangreer.com, by the way, and Real Dan Greer, because that's where you're going to find everything about me and follow me on social media, that kind of stuff. So Clips DOT is one of my businesses. If you haven't figured it out, it's all over everything that I wear, but I digress. People change when the camera gets put on. When they get on there, they either do two things, and it's sometimes it's natural, sometimes it's not natural. Sometimes they're doing it because of the environment they're in, but they literally, like, the camera gets put on and they go crazy. They go berserk, rip off their shirt. They dye their hair orange and black because they want that attention. They wear that red, white, and blue cowboy hat. They make a sign that is crazy so that they get attention. They get on camera, and their hope is to be on the Jumbotron. That's their hope. That's their hope. Their hope is to be on TV, right? The people who do that. And that's their goal. That's their whole goal, is to be seen, is to get attention. And they'll do whatever it takes to get that attention. Personally, as leaders, most of us probably aren't that way, right? Most of you are probably a little bit more like me. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a little bit more conservative. You're a little bit more reserved. You're a little bit more like, how do I say this? I'm trying to think of the right words for this because it doesn't come out supernaturally. You're a little bit more introverted instead of, extroverted. I'm not saying that you're not taking control. I'm not saying you're not leading the room. I'm not saying any of that stuff. What I'm saying is that you don't necessarily love that attention. Like, if you're like me, I don't love attention. People may disagree with that. And when I'm supposed to be in charge of a room, I have no problem being in charge of that room. And that's what a good leader does, is they step up when they need to. But truthfully and honestly, like, most leaders don't want to be in charge of the room. They don't want to be there. They're there because they're called to be there, right? And so I want to just talk a little bit about, and just like encourage you guys, because we're almost done with our 5-minute podcast, right? So I just want to encourage you guys to be somebody who doesn't change when the camera turns on you. Don't be the person who is very shy and reserved, and when the camera is on you, you're like, right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't change because the Jumbotron is on you. Don't change because you get the opportunity to be there. Be who you are all the time. That's it. That's your 5-minute pep talk. All right. See you guys later.